Hello, back again. Just doing another quick video. This is this is Ben's response to the police that have had a response to all of this. I partially watched the original to the actual police response to everything that's been going on. To be honest, it's long-winded. You have a guy that's talking really quietly, and yeah, well, we'll just jump straight into this one now.
The American Fork Police Department has responded to the video I made about them.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media.
So now I will offer a response to their response. There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so
we're gonna talk like really softly, and we're gonna make it though like nobody's gonna watch it for long periods of time because it's about 40-minute video from the police that have made a response.
We'll go over that first. One of the main questions in my video was, why did I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos.
He basically stole a $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos.
But still, why did they raid my house for stealing the Legos when there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos? When I requested the body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself, they redacted everything, and they claimed it was to protect the victims. However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting swatted, and we caught the entire conversation on camera.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
For 3 months, the police department's answer has been, this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police are looking for Legos and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all of the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only reason I know about it is because of the receipt I got the night I was released from jail and my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer, which is the Airbnb host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos.
Okay, so they're staying at an Airbnb, right? They're obviously doing all of this to try to, get back the stolen Legos. So they're going to be talking about stolen Legos. They're going to be talking about it. I have no idea what the fuck this guy's talking about. This is absolute horseshit. This is the biggest bullshit I've
Specifically,
ever heard.
Officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken.
Again, they're talking about the stolen Legos that Josh Johnson has taken.
Based on that information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise.
Again, I said this in the last video, but there are cops that are really struggling to get search warrants, to get arrest warrants for people that are heinous, for people that are threatening lives, for people that have done, sexual crimes, sexual assaults and all kinds of other nasty stuff. And they're struggling to get this. But these guys, oh no, all of a sudden, oh, well, he talked about stolen Legos, so we had to raid his house.
4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too.
Oh,
and
wow.
my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we will find out the answers once and for all.
Yeah.
While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick.
When we replay the footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm.
Oh, it's that
Lieutenant
Adamson
Adamson later reported that he
that's the one that cut down that sign illegally. You know that they were trying to do for the GoFundMe. Yeah, it's that guy. Like he's obviously a Mormon, and he's obviously pissed off that all this is going down.
felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made it clear I did not, in fact, make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did, so the police officer was lying.
This is all obviously just to put pressure on Ben. It is literally a scare tactic that they are using. They're going, right, if you're going to keep continuing the way that you're going, we're going to keep using force, and we will get harder and harder until the time that we go, you've got a weapon and they can shoot you.
But not fully, because I did tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even touches me, so how could he even know that I was tensing my arm before he even grabs me? That doesn't make any sense. There's only one solution. This police officer has psychic powers, and he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me. However, this makes no sense, because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves, Josh and Brandon were the thieves. So this can't be the case either.
Yeah, it can't be.
I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason. However, the police have another response to this.
No, I see. I can understand why he hasn't turned around and said he's literally doing this to put pressure on him. Obviously, he can't have allegations against the police, because then the police can use it against him, saying that you falsely have allegations against another officer that you know they put hands on you just to literally put to scare you and your friends away. And the fact that they took all his friends in at the same time, I think is just beyond ridiculous.
Of why I must be lying.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray.
I remember noticing that.
The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Snyder's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine, because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail, so how could I have taken this picture? But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left.
Also, a dislocated shoulder isn't actually that bad. It's painful, but I'm not gonna lie, once you've done it, you I've seen videos of people on purposely dislocating their arms just to relocate them. It's weird. But
Shoulder, when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder.
It is a bit misleading. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw that, it was kind of like, oh bloody hell, he's actually got evidence to go against the police. But obviously he's just
when I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience, that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience. But now I realize that there's another portion of my audience called the American Fork Police Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed every single piece of information to. So I'm going to use this as constructive criticism, and in every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department's watching, I will be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional slackliner, dislocating my shoulder is almost a monthly thing for me.
Oh.
The whole weight of my arm is just on this bone.
3 days before I got arrested, I had a really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was purposely trying to injure me. I think to
okay, so he's had a previous injury, and to be honest, fair play to him. He's literally come out and said, I've had a previous injury, this isn't something that he's going to go for the police with, because he's had an injury beforehand. If they do anything like arrest him in the wrong way, to be honest, what they did was that was completely unlawful. They were all walking out. They were all being civil. They were complying with what they were saying. That Anderson definitely is in the middle of this, and I'd be interested to find out.
A normal person, this would have been fine, but For me in particular, this was not good, but it was still unjustified. And the police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign.
Serious? What the fuck?
This video
Come on.
and said,
Look.
we ran a stop sign.
And he stopped. He literally stopped. He obviously checked. There's no traffic there. Okay, that's a stop sign. He stopped. He's checked both ways. It's clear. He's gone. Completely unwarranted. Completely.
And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed.
Yeah.
However, to do that, we are first required to serve him court papers. So we did what the law told us to do. I got a process server, and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way, and instead called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment.
What? The Josh guy literally has turned around and said that he is going to shoot Ben, or one of the processors, so that he doesn't have to go to court. And this guy is admitting it. He's
Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh.
That's premeditated murder right there, or conspiratory to murder. Both premeditated. Oh, well, obviously he's not dead, so it can't be premeditated. That's conspiracy to murder. That's conspiracy to fucking murder right there.
Is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because there'll be no one to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he just admitted his plans to the police officers.
Yeah.
The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court.
It's conspiring.
But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested?
It's conspiring to murder someone.
Something about this seems off, and all of the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me and not the guy who threatened to murder me. However, the American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now have made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was a real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers have already been served.
Wait.
I'm doing
That last video, right? That last video, the police officer literally said, "Do you want me to take these papers up to him? Do you want me to serve him for you so that you don't have to get trespassed?" And the fact that this has now come out, that like he's literally admitted to the police that he was going to shoot them. Going to fucking shoot them. I can understand why they got arrested. It's probably more for their safety, to be honest, because they were like, right, this guy's fucking unhinged. But we can't have him in a bad light because he's part of the Mormon and he's a part of this big, company that is giving lots and lots of money to the police force.
This
solely
to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it.
Yeah,
they released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There is no hearing date set, and there hasn't been a hearing in the case yet. All I see is the claim that was filed. I don't see proof of service or anything. The hearing wouldn't be set until a response is filed by defendant.
She just literally said there that it is needing to be served. It needs to be served. These papers need to be given to him so that he can have a response, whether it's fuck off or whether it's, yes, okay, I'll go to court. Wow.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case
Jesus
will,
fucking
start.
Christ, man.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't make
Okay,
it up.
thank you for your help.
You can't make it up.
That's all for today. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
And they verified it. It's all
Right
legal.
here, the police officer admits that it is March 10th.
On March 10th, 2026,
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until 3 days later, March 13th.
Wow. So they arrested him because he had already been served on the 10th, because that's when he was there, because he was arrested on the 10th. However, he got served on 13th. Wow, this is one hell of a conspiracy.
So
Fuck
how
me.
could Josh have already been served on March 10th
Jesus
if he didn't get
Christ,
served until March 13th? Unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only one way to clear this hole up. American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now they say that I have done all the check marks which constitute stalking. Let's go through them.
individual commits stalking if the individual
my
intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct
Fuck me.
directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, it is not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared. The police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they've completely forgotten about the term reasonable. As we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person.
What has he done to make him scared? This guy hasn't done anything. Like, he's not harassed. He's done everything by the book. And I mean, literally to the point of where he had that lottery scheme where he registered everything, got everything done so legally to the point of where you had to physically pay to be able to class something as a lottery, that they were giving out $1 so they could pay with that dollar. So no one was out of pocket.
This is someone who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over that location because the owners were using the location to fund their heroin addiction.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's how they took it over, and saying they had like a pigeon in there that was crapping all over the Legos and it smelled bad, all this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers.
Wow.
This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers, so that second checkbox does not meet the requirements.
By the way, this guy's a Mormon. I really do hope that the Mormon community crucify this guy. And I'm not talking literally, obviously, but to excommunicate him and to just throw him under the bus. I hope he gets thrown under the bus so bloody hard. I hope this guy spends time in prison.
I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers
Conspiracy
early
murder,
on.
that's bad.
What the law says is if the average person
definitely
would feel
felony.
unsafe by our behaviors. So I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe. A reasonable person would not feel unsafe in the situation.
Let's have a quick look, actually. Conspire to murder. Conspire to murder in Utah. I think I spelled that wrong. Utah law. Utah conspiracy to commit murder is classed as a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years. Up to 15 years in 15 years in prison, and or a fine of $10,000. This charge is applicable, but this charge applies to when two or more individuals agree to commit a murder. Oh, okay, so you'd have to involve one of the other people, which, to be honest, those three guys, I can guarantee they all looked at the very first video that I did. That woman that was working behind the counter, she literally got a phone call off the boss being like, how can we get these guys arrested? How can we get them arrested? And the arresting didn't work. So what did they do? Well, we'll talk to our guys. I've got a thing. I know what. I'll just murder them. I'll murder them, and it gets rid of everything. And I'll pay $10,000. And if we do get caught, but we won't get caught because all the cops are in on it as well. Conspiracy requires an agreement to commit. Okay. So it's not conspiracy. Premeditating. Let's have a look. See. Bad at spelling. Fuck it. Utah law. Premeditation is a key element of aggravated murder. Utah law. Utah code. Blah blah blah. Which the state's most serious homicide charge. Unlike many other states, Utah does not formally distinguish between first degree and second degree murder. Instead, it categorizes unlawful killing as murder or aggravated murder. So premeditation and deliberation. Premeditation occurs when the killer forms the intent to kill and has time, no matter how brief or slight, to react on the murder. Deliberation, the killing is considered deliberate if the killer has or had a chance to consider alternatives before acting, which he obviously has. And requirement, while premeditation is not strictly required for a standard murder conviction, which can result from depraved indifference or felony murder, it is primary factor that elevates a homicide to aggravated murder when combined with that. Here we go. Penalties. Aggravated murder, if charged as a capital felony with with notice of intent to seek the death penalty, the punishment is death or life without parole. If the death penalty is not sought, it is first degree felony punishable by life imprisonment or maximum of 25 years. Damn. Like, Jesus Christ. And he's done this.
I can say the same thing.
He literally admitted this to the police officer. That copper has literally turned around and said, well, we got told that Josh had said to the police officers that he was going to murder someone, which is why he gets arrested.
I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him, and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe
So
because of
ridiculous.
that. Because we had a 3-hour search in our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had a 3-hour search in our car.
That's another thing as well. I'm just going to quickly search out. I know that I just keep doing this, but falsely calling the cops on someone in Utah law. Really. Falsely reporting a crime or providing false information to law enforcement in Utah is a criminal offense. Class B misdemeanor, knowingly giving false information to a peace officer with the intent to induce them to believe another person committed an offense is punishable by up to 6 months in jail or a fine up to $1,000. Filing a false report, car accident, false accusation against officers, emergency reporting. Yeah, that's another one. Emergency reporting abuse. Making false report to a government entity is a third-degree felony, while false reports involving weapons of mass destruction are second-degree felony. Jesus Christ. Let's try repeated. Because these guys get it constantly. So Utah law does not have a specific statute repeated, but such actions can lead to criminal prosecution under several overlapping offences depending on the intent and the nature of reports. You've got harassment, false report of a crime, and abuse of emergency reporting. So all three of these he ticks, every single one of these. Repeatedly contacting someone with the intent to harass, intimidate, or frighten them is a Class B misdemeanor or a Class A misdemeanor if the victim is a minor. Oh, okay, so it's definitely a Class B misdemeanor. This applies if the false calls are a part of a course of conducting a target. Yeah, so it's definitely that. He ticks that. False report of a crime, knowingly providing false information to a peace officer with the intent to mislead them in a Class B misdemeanor. If the false report involves a threat of seriously bodily harm, the police officer has literally turned around there and said that he was going to shoot him. A weapon of mass destruction, it can be elevated to abusive emergency report, and he's definitely done that. Making it a false report to a 909 dispatcher or police entity is a 3rd degree felony. Literally ticks every single one of these boxes. Filing a false police report is generally class B. So he's literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, every single box this fucking Josh Johnson has literally.
That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me if I take him to court. But now I'm the one that's being looked into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder the manager of the store.
Now let's go to the heroin claim. We got pulled over by the police, and they claimed that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are substances in the vehicle.
Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over that our eyes were glossy.
What? During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
If we look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything clear as day with Tyler that I noticed.
What's the goal?
Right now? Yeah, I was gonna scare him a little bit and let him go. Is all I really was gonna do.
Do we have charges, or are we just tired of them being annoying?
Wow. Are we going to charge them, or are we just going to leave them to be annoyed? Oh my god.
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously.
Chief of police?
So far, almost everything he said is a lie. Shit? So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything.
Yeah.
We already know the victim's name is Joshua Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police.
Yep.
And now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon's arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's reports, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
The police officer claims that Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence.
Doesn't show it.
However, we can clearly see in the footage Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone.
Because they didn't have a search
His phone
warrant.
was open when he pulled it out.
They didn't have a search
and the phone
warrant.
was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is advice to anyone: don't leave your fucking phone unlocked in your pocket. That's dumb. It's so bloody dumb. Like, it's not just police. If someone comes and nicks your phone, they've got access to bloody everything, because everyone's got apps on their phones these days that you can literally get onto your bank account. You can get onto, they can get your personal information, email addresses, other people's information as well.
So American Fork Police Department,
Christ.
if I'm your teacher, here's your homework. First off, learn the facts of what actually happened. Second off, stop lying about the facts. No one's believing it. The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get...
Yes! Fucking thank God for that. I'm so glad that someone's picked up on this and gone, I know a lawyer, and they've passed everything on. Or just someone who is a lawyer or attorney or someone that's literally gone, actually, I've dealt with a load of these cases, and, you know, they've got a good reputation. They're like, oh, well, I could make quite a bit of money out of this because it's police harassment, it's false imprisonment, it's false arrest, it's what would you call it when you're protecting someone? I don't even know.
Released. Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out? The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's kind of funny, because a lot of you guys probably think I'm like trying to like make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow.
Go on, Penguin.
I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just like super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping because I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can. And that's caused me just to like stay up all night, every night, and not sleep. And now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am, at least. I wasn't making fun of him. I literally am just genuinely sick. But if you want to see part 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/WrecklessBen. Part 3 will be up there very soon. Part 2, I'm only dealing with misdemeanors, but part 3 is when they start accusing me of felonies. So it gets insane.
Oh my God.
But yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to crank out videos in the meantime until part 3 is done. But thanks for all the support, and let's find Brian's Legos.
Yeah. We need to find Brian's Legos. That is the main fucking story of this, is that guy is on a fucking mission and he's gonna do it. And I can't wait until he does. And I can't wait until he gets reparations from the police. I can't wait. There's got to be public apologies and stuff. If they're accusing him of felonies, I don't even know where to start, where they're gonna start, like, with that sort of shit. Like, all I've seen, and this is probably one-sided because, you know, there's probably a lot more information into this. But from a basic understanding, this guy has only tried to help people. He has only tried to help these guys, help this family get to what they deserve, because they got ripped off through a company that literally sells stuff for them. That the big company has obviously seen fucking dollar signs coming out of this place that they've gone, we'll illegally kick out the owner and replace it with someone else that we can have there. We'll take all the Legos that we can literally just either show off so that we can, you know, push our brand more, or sell because they're worth so fucking much. Or maybe he's even a personal collector himself. Maybe he's seen some stuff in there that he's like, I haven't seen this stuff before. This stuff is rare as fuck. I want it. I fucking want it. I'm not going to sell this shit. I'm going to fucking keep it for myself. Maybe in 10 years' time it'll be worth double. Maybe in 5 years' time it'll be worth fucking, well, not fucking 10, 20, fucking 30 years' time it'll be worth so fucking much that, you know, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I really cannot believe this. This is only a short one. Obviously, this is 30 minutes for me, and it's a 17-minute video. And I really do, you know, if you're watching this, I will put in the description to the link of all these videos. I can't wait for like the new parts to come out so that I can actually get a look into this. I might have to look into see if I can get, you know, a Patreon subscription so that I can actually have a look at some of the stuff. I've got to look into terms and conditions and stuff to see if I could actually do more videos on this, because this is ridiculous. How on earth this guy has been treated so damn bloody badly, how he is being harassed by the police, unlawfully arrested. His friends have been unlawfully stopped, like legit unlawfully stopped. The footage is all there. The footage is there. This is what body cameras are for. This is why they were put there. This is why they're there, is to protect the public. And it's also to protect the police as well. It's to protect the police from, you know, being able to do shit like this. But then you've got the bloody chief of police in the area coming out and saying, this guy's bad. This Ben guy's harassing. But this Josh Johnson, you know, he can go around, he can threaten to kill someone. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. We're at 34 minutes anyway, and I really hope that you're enjoying this as much as I am. I think this is just, in a lot of ways, so entertaining. Like, I really feel sorry for them, because they are literally going through absolute hell. If they're being arrested like this, he got kept in prison for a month, for God's sakes. Or did he? I think he might have got let out early, but he spent time in fucking jail for no reason at all. Like, no fucking reason. But anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll wait for the next part to come out, so I can do some more videos, because this is interesting as fuck. But yeah, I hope you all have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.